Are you stuck in the same pattern with your body? You try to have some result. You work so hard to try to lose weight or to be in good shape, and you don't see really the result coming in your life. I know that because for years I was struggling with my weight, with my self-esteem, with my self-image, and I was doing all kind of diets, but I was still coming back at the same level, same situation, same result, again and again. And the loop of the yo-yo pattern in my life was there for years. By the way, it was in my family. And every woman in my bloodline has to struggle with food, with their weight, and I was in the same pattern, same loop for my life. But I discovered how to apply the principles from the 80-20 to bring my success, my liberty, my freedom to lose weight supernaturally and see the result in my life. And since all these years, I'm coaching people to shift the pattern in their life in every area, including their weight. And if it's your case or you know somebody is struggling with their weight and with food, stay with me, because what I'm going to share today with you is not heard at other places, and you need to receive this information and the system to bring the change in your life.
Hi, it's Dr. Martine Wilkie, and welcome to Be Limitless Podcast.
I'm so glad that you decided to watch this video, because I know from all my testimony and all my clients that applied this principle, their life was changed and they see the result and they kept their victory in their soul, in their life, in their self-esteem, in their weight. Then I just want to tell you that for my own case, my own life, from the age of 12 years old to 25 years old, I was always almost on diets, restriction. To the day I started to be more conscious about my body, I started to put myself on restrictions, to not love what I was seeing in the mirror. And more I was doing diets and restrictions, I started to have more torment with food. To the point I have some phase seasons in my life, I was going to anorexia to bulimia. I was a believer, I was spiritual, believing in God, praying, hoping that one day I'm gonna be free like other people. They don't have to take care of that, to not be on restriction all the time. And I was fighting against myself, fighting against food, fighting all the time. And when I started to receive this shift, how to shift this pattern in my life, everything started to change. In 4 months, I started to lose weight. And I lost 70 pounds in 4 months without diets, without restrictions, by applying what I'm going to share with you today. I don't have time in this podcast to share all the angle, but I wrote a book on it. I wrote a book that is called Be Free, Be Slim. And you can get this book on Amazon, on my website. And Be Free, Be Slim is my testimony first, and the 7 roots of the problem with the 7 keys, what to do to shift the pattern with food. Because a lot of people, they're gonna try to lose weight with another diet, another way to do it. And it's changing, different season, different things that is more popular, the trend. It's not working on long term, because we have to identify the root of the problem. It's like a tree. And if you have a tree and you want to cut the tree because you don't like the tree, and you don't go to the root of the tree, what is going to happen? Then the tree, if you just cut the tree will come back, because you don't go to the roots of the problem. And this is exactly what we do with diets and restriction. And the next, decision that you're going to go to the gym and lose weight and this and that, that's fine. To eat well, it's important. To do workout, it's important. It's good for your health. But what is the most important thing is go to the roots of the problem. Because if you don't conquer the roots, you're not going to change the result in long term. And this is what you have to understand, because the 80% of the problem, it's invisible. You don't see it with your eyes. And the 20% is the mechanic, is what you have to do. And I synergize the two worlds together, the invisible with the visible. It's not just the invisible. We have to do the visible also. We have to learn how to eat. We have to learn how to take care of our body. But if you don't fix the root here, you're going to go back to the same problem again and again, and you're going to work so hard and never see really your freedom and your victory in this area. And this is why I started to apply what is the root of the problem. In my book, in my training, I identify 7 roots. And one of the most important roots is the zaccharin, the memory of generation, that now the science proves that in the epigenetic, in our gene, we receive the transmission of the generation before. And the same struggle that my family was facing, I started to have the same voices inside, the same influence, the same pattern in my gene, in my blood, and the same result. Then I started to confront the real source of the problem. These voices that try to influence me with my relationship with food, fear with food, with the assumption with food. I'm just looking at chocolate, I'm going to gain weight, projecting already the result without doing anything, but just believing, and according to your faith, according to what you believe, you shall receive. Then all the law, the principle, in the invisible, I was creating the result I didn't want. But in life, you don't get what you want or you don't want. You get in life according to who you are and what you believe. And deep down in my soul, I was believing that I had a problem. I was stuck with this pattern. I was just looking at chocolate and gaining weight. And I was believing that my identity with my body, who I am, was affected by these voices, this zaccharin of generation affecting my soul. And this is where I started to do the work. Now you have the 7 roots. And when you confront the 7 roots, you can conquer that. And this is why if you're not ready to go to the 80%, you're going to work so hard and you're going to start another diet. You're going to start another way of, to try to lose weight. But when you change, things will change. When I started, and after all these diets, I said to myself, my body is not the problem. I can lose weight. But something is working inside of me that recreate the same pattern. And I started to realize if I work on my identity and my belief system and my feeling with food and my way of believing with food and my relationship with food, then this is where I started to have the result, real result. You can change your life in 7 days. God created the earth in 7 days. You're created the image of God. And you can create the life of your dream with the 7-day cycle creation. How can you control a year if you cannot control 7 days? This is why I created this training, 7-day cycle creation. You have a checklist for every day what to do. 7 days you take control. If you take control over 7 days, again and again, you're going to take control over your year and you're going to build the life of your dream. You're going to see your life be limitless and to go to another level again and again and again. This 7-day cycle creation, it's a powerful training, simple, fast result with the structure you need to take control over 7 days. Every day, you have some homework to do. You have your visualization, you have your affirmation, you have the video teaching, plus you have bonuses to help you to understand all the principles. You apply this 7-day cycle creation training and you're going to see your life will change. You're not going to regret. This powerful training will get the result you work for so long, you hope for so long, you desire for so long. It's your time, it's your season. Take this amazing opportunity to create the life of your dream by applying the same principle. How God created the earth, you apply the same principle to create the life of your dream, and you're going to see it's working. Get this training right now. Click on the link below, and you will be so blessed, and you're going to see your life will change. I started to change my relationship with food. What you resist resists you. What you just hate will just destroy more. And I started to have love for myself. You're going to love your neighbor like yourself. I started to change the way I was feeling about myself, the way I was feeling with food. And it's all the 7 keys in my book. And one of these keys that I want to share with you today, I started I'm going to share 2 keys with you. The keys of reprogramming my soul, my mind, my soul, the way I was thinking with the way that a person is already free and slim. And I started to ask myself, okay, the way I feel with food, the way I think with food, the way I believe my body with food, is it the way that a person is already free and slim feel, think? All his belief system, is it this belief system? And I started to ask questions to myself. What you believe, you create. So romantic and it's so easy. What I believe, I will create. What I think all the time, I will create. And I started to ask myself, now you think like a person with the problem. And you're going to keep the problem because you think like the person with the problem. You need to shift your mind and your belief system to shift your body, the pattern. And now if you start to think and force your soul to be reprogrammed according to how a person free and slim think about his body, food, relationship, and all of that. And I started to act and believe like this person. And because I changed inside, things started to change outside. I stopped to try to lose weight because in my mind, in my interface, in my soul, I started to implement the truth like I'm already slim. And this is the love assumption that I explained in this book. You have to have this book also. These 2 books, if you're fighting with the pattern with food, I have this book in English and this book too. Both they go together because this one explains how to activate heaven on earth with the limitless interface, that you are the interface and you can really activate your breakthrough, shift the pattern in your life. And this one explains really how to think and all the 7 roots and the 7 keys according to the truth. Now, with that, you're going to see that you were the 80 person. And like since 26 years now, after 2 pregnancies, 26 years later, still free, still slim, still, eating what I want, but because I apply first the 80%. And when the way I started to believe and to enforce this truth more than what I received from generation, more than the way I grew up, more than what the people said about me, more than what I was looking in the mirror, but to assume that it was already done, everything started to change. The second key in my book that I explain is what you say, you're going to reap. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. Everything you say, it's spiritually, it's invisible, but it's working behind the scene. And by your words, you're going to be bind. And this is why when you realize, okay, when I speak, my body that is 60-70% of water, and water react with words that the science prove that now, then everything I'm going to speak is going to have a reaction in the invisible realm and in my soul and in my body. And I started to change the way I was talking about my body. I started to change the way I was talking about my image, my body, my weight. And I started to speak like a person that is already free. Not speaking like the person with the problem. I have this problem. I have weight problem. I have this. No, speaking like it's already done. Not saying any words coming against what I want to create. Because by our words, we create. If we can speak to our plants and they can grow or they can die because the experimentation just proved that, then how I can speak over myself, over food, over my relationship and create other results. This is one of the 7 keys, I just share with the book. In the interface, I speak more about 18 principles, how to create heaven on earth. And you can do that for your body. I just want to encourage you today. You're not called to be in this injustice like other people can be free and slim, because I want to say free. Some people, they're slim, but they're not free. But you can be free and thin and in good shape and feeling good about yourself. And by the way, I just put the scale in the trash because I was saying to myself, it's not the scale that's going to make me free. The scale was more a problem in my life. I just want to feel good. I want to feel good with myself, with my body. I just want to be in good shape. I just want to be healthy. I just want to feel good about the body that really God created for me. Then I stopped to go on the scale and say, let's just do the process. Let's just be this person. And I started to apply many principles to bring this freedom in my life. And you can have the same thing. Why other people are moving forward and you don't see the result in your life? You work so hard and you don't see the change. You would like to live the life of your dream. You would like to succeed the purpose of your life, your destiny, to succeed your dreams, your desire, but you don't see the change. You don't see the result. You don't see the transformation. And this is something I learned in my life the hard way, and I want to share that with you, that nobody talk about that. I wrote a book that it's called Activate Heaven on Earth with the Limitless Interface. And in this book, I talk about a hacker that is working behind the scene, trying to contaminate and steal your life, what you're supposed to produce to function well, to have result in your life. And if you don't understand that you are the interface and you are the portal between heaven and earth, and you have a hacker working behind the scene, that you look at other people, they seem to have success, it's easy for them, but you are fighting a resistance that other people, maybe they don't have to fight in their life. And this is why I created the Success and Money Ceiling Breaker Library, to help you to understand the psycho, neuro, and spiritual system with the right action strategy to apply to change your life and to fulfill your dreams, to have the life you desire. I felt for everything in my life, and I understood how to do it. And this is why I wrote this book and I built this library to help you to succeed the life you want. Not the life I want, the life you want. The life that you desire. You have one life to live. And this is why you have this money and success ceiling breaker library that you can have right now. $1 per course, 20 courses, $20 for 20 courses to help you to understand what is going on. The neuroscience, prove what I'm teaching, the psycho, the spiritual, and the right strategies. I'm a businesswoman. Faith without action is dead. You need to understand what to do in the natural, but 80% of the result comes from the invisible, the psycho, the neuro, the spiritual. When you understand the 4 dimensions all together and you apply it in your life, you're going to start to have the result you want. This is how I started to have the weight that I wanted, the marriage, the money, the result, the health, the dream life, the lifestyle, everything. And I'm there for you. Take this course and you're going to be amazed how your life will change if you apply the principle. The law of gravity doesn't make a difference between you and I, the color of my skin, or age. The law of gravity is working for everybody. Same for this invisible law and principle, then you can download and you can apply in your life. Diets never make you free. Restriction will never bring you a real victory. And it's not a life. You have one life to live. Are you going to live this life on restriction? Or are you going to go and get what you really desire and feel good about yourself? You can shift the pattern. It's not about what other people see yourself. It's not what they think about you. It's how you feel about you. And it's not about the weight on the scale. It's about how you feel about you and feel comfortable with you. And to shift this pattern is to go to the invisible first. If you change here, the invisible, the 80%, you're going to do the mechanic, the right things to do that I explain in my book, and you're going to see the result. Hope this video just bless you, because I wish that 26 years ago, stuck with this pattern, praying, working so hard, doing a lot of diets, but I was stuck with this torment with food and with my weight. I was very desperate, and I just tried to do everything to fix that. To the day I started to work on my soul inside out, and I started to become the person I was really called to be, and to have this real identity that God created for my life, and start to try to force outside, but to change inside. Everything started to change outside. And the victory, the breakthrough is permanent. You keep it because it's not a diet. You change, and because you change, things change. Then just share with me What are you struggling right now with your weight maybe, or with food? I want to be there for you. If you have questions, ask me. I just want to help you. I'm your helper. And since 33 years, I'm helping people to shift pattern in their life and to go to the next level of their success. Then let me know. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, and just let me know what you need to know more, your question, and it's gonna be a pleasure for me to answer your question. Bless you, and see you in the next video.